how is the rescue and recovery operation going so far?
Well, it's a tough job ahead for responders, including the volunteers with the Indonesian Red Cross. They were back out on the ground first thing this morning, and they have two main focuses. The one is to make sure that people who survived, that they have the basic household necessities that they need. And then, of course, with the search and rescue, to try and find anyone who still might be in the rubble and bring them to safety as quickly as possible. It's raining right now. It is the rainy season. We're hearing from people on the ground that they are living in or sleeping in mosques. They're sleeping in shops. Some are even sleeping out in the open. So we're trying to do our best to make sure that people are somewhat protected from that bad weather.
Right, I know a lot of people lost everything. There are a lot of buildings and homes damaged. Talk a little bit more about what the situation is like right now for the survivors. How are they holding up?
It's very traumatic for the survivors, as you can imagine. Think of what it would be like if your own home collapsed around you. A lot of people, even though the warnings are out not to return to the coastal region, a lot of people are going back. That's where their houses were. That's where their businesses were. They want to see if what remains of their premises and to see if there is anything that is salvageable. The psychosocial aspect of this, it's so important to look after people's physical needs, of course, make sure they have access to shelter and clean water and health care, but it's vitally important to also make sure that their emotional and mental state are also cared for. And this is something where the Indonesian Red Cross, they have a lot of expertise. They have volunteers who are trained, and they will be going in and working with the people, working with the survivors to help them work through that emotional anguish.
Mm-hmm. What sort of assistance does Indonesia need with the recovery operation, and is there anything that people can do to help?
At the moment, this response is being handled by Indonesia along with its partners, including the Indonesian Red Cross. There is no request at the moment for international support. However, we are coordinating from an International Red Cross perspective. We're in close liaison with the teams on the ground, and if that request does come through for international support, it will be provided. From the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent, we have mobilized more than $300,000 to help support emergency operations from the get-go, and that includes being able to provide emergency aid to survivors. It will help support the search and rescue operations and the provision of healthcare services.